Do we want to look at the analyzing first or the POCA first?
I mean, this won't take
Okay, do
super
the
long, I guess.
POCA first, okay.
The smell of bacon is wafting through the air and it's just killing me right now.
I already told Chris.
I noticed that
Is
too.
it Kruger that's doing that?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
sometimes she does cinnamon rolls.
I
It's
never eat
just
bacon, but I love it, because I know it's not healthy for me, so I
Right.
don't touch it, but it's,
one
Teasing you.
piece would hurt.
yeah, that's just cruel.
My parents used to do that. They'd put us to bed and then make popcorn. You could hear the sound and smell it. It was
Oh,
just,
man.
Yeah, that's awful.
I'm gonna make this a new entry and just call it observation written, so you can tell the difference between the two,
Okay.
if you ever should want to. So we're gonna skip the clarify, and then, since we already did that, and the standards-based content, and go right into the teaching practice. This is more for Jamie than for you. Understanding, agency, feedback. Okay. As you were looking through the written, then what did you find? Where you would be at?
I
in
felt like,
evidence?
again, I was for sure at applying. And then touched on a few parts of integrating and debating.
Okay. You want to explain that one?
Well, kind of like we talked about yesterday, like I feel like I give specific and pretty quick feedback on their writing assignment. I always tell them, like, if I give them a due date, then I'm expected to also get their stuff into them timely. And then in that feedback, I reinforce the skills and knowledge of the target standards, so I kind of let them know. I don't know if I did a great job with talking about what they did well, but I definitely like commented what they need to work on. So
The
then
next steps would be a bit more
positive.
positive, what do they call it? Assess-based.
Yes. So yep, I guess I should have all of that. It's not usually that loud this morning. It's early in the morning.
Must be something exciting going on. Of course, this was the first time, right? That they,
Yes, this was their first writing assignment.
so they might not have, some of them, too many assets.
Yeah. They did, I would say this class did better for the first round compared to last year's freshman. And I don't know, I'd like to think, it was TECA that helped with that, but, I don't know.
You could ask them that, have them do a little reflection.
That's what helped them.
Using TECA, did that help you? Using a finger fuzz, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, they're
Yeah.
used to that. How much did it help you?
manager highlighted the fact that my feedback supports focused next steps, like for the next writing assignment, this is what you maybe need to focus a little bit more on or pay more attention to.
Okay.
But I didn't highlight, because I wasn't really sure if my feedback was supporting self-directed learning aligned with their interests and a goal.
Because,
I guess I just didn't know if, like, me saying, like, okay, check your citation format, is that supporting them being self-directed? I don't know. And maybe I'm reading that wrong. But then the inviting them to self-reflect, again, I don't know, I didn't know if it was like too early for them to already have established that yet, if, you know, they need,
that
More.
might be later in the process.
yeah,
A
after they,
different act.
yeah. Definitely, hopefully by the
Yeah.
end.
Well, and you're still teaching them this process,
Right.
so that would work. Okay.
Yeah. Do you want this?
No, you can hang on to that, or,
I'm gonna set it on my desk.
so, we decided maybe, Act 3 for doing this again.
Yes. Sorry, did you wanna look at this again?
No, that's fine.
Or just get
So that was Act 1.
Yep, the first time, so then, yeah, I think we talked about how hopefully in the middle, see some change.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, back. So we're also going to do analyzing student learning. And I don't remember if we really did much of this last year, no.
I do remember, I don't remember what unit we did it for, but I remember sorting the students
Okay,
into like those 3 or 4 different groups. But I was looking through and like, they're all, like, they're scored, oops, sorry, that's the wrong assignment, never mind. Yeah, like, there's some of them, I guess there's maybe one that's low, but otherwise, like, their scores are all fairly around like 8, 9, or 10.
okay.
So I don't know if there's a, I don't know if it's too early to sort them, but we'll just go, obviously, we're just
We'll
gonna
go with
off.
what it, I mean, it's a fluid thing.
Yeah,
And just because you did bad today doesn't mean you can't pop
Right.
up and stuff. Just for a quick review, mainly for Jamie, what was the standard that they're doing in this one?
specifically would be, I think what we're mostly focusing on would be the citing strong and thorough textual evidence, so that's 9 through 10.1, the reading language. I don't know if you need that, but.
I'm just citing strong textual evidence. Okay. And you've already modified from last year using the TACA. Okay, so if you sorted them by way below, almost, meets, and exceeding standards, or looking at meet standards, what would some sorting criteria be?
So I guess, I think it might be easier if I start at the top,
Okay,
like exceeds, do I list out everything that they could do?
no, just, how did you determine where to put them
And
in your
I-
4 piles?
Okay. And I guess I haven't, was I supposed to sort them before today?
No,
Okay. good.
but if we do it now, what would you,
Okay, so I think like exceeds, like the top, they were able to successfully analyze their quote. I think that's like the top step, I would say. Analyze how it supports their claim.
okay? So I am down in areas of strength for Part B.
Okay.
Meeting standards, what did they do well?
I would say, you know, they're kind of moving the next step. They can explain what the quote is saying, but maybe they can't take it the next step. Okay, how does this support your claim?
Okay. So I'm kind of going between two right now. So there are areas of strength and then areas of need. So meeting standards, they need work on.
Analyzing their quotes.
So kind of what you're doing is taking their strength and moving it down to their need to move up to there.
Gotcha.
And can explain quote then probably would be the approaching standards. They need work on explaining quote. Approaching standards, what do they do well?
This is where I'm not entirely sure how to separate it, because like the next issues I see.
And it might be some do this and some do that.
Right, cause like, even some students who can analyze and explain the quote, they struggle maybe with, formatting the citation in their quote correctly. And so, that's where it's a little,
Can analyze and explain, but not format.
so this is where there's really not one size fits
Right,
all.
right.
It might be a little different for each.
Okay. Far below standards.
I would say those
A
are
strength.
far a strength,
Mhm.
or like what,
What they did do well, everybody.
I would say for the most part, everybody could at least pick out a quote that supported the claim. I don't think it was in this section, but a different section, somebody's quote was way off, but, yeah. But anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, for the most part, they can pick a quote.
Okay, so areas of strength, far below, they can pick out a quote. They need to work on,
I would say they need, at this stage, they need to work on formatting their quote and citation correctly. Explaining in their own words what the quote is saying. And then analyzing how it supports their claim.
okay. And as you're working through how you're gonna support that, you might have to, like, what is your top? Because they're not going to move from here up to there.
Right.
So what would,
Right.
so maybe you have the formatting done and they do the other two parts.
Yeah. And then I think with the exceeding standards, like the goal for them, wouldn't that be that they could possibly then help out somebody who's below them, or like, you know, help teach or peer edit, I guess.
That sounds better, peer edit. Or what did they call it?
Reciprocal teaching.
Okay, I don't know if that's necessarily an area of need, but that's something that they could
Yes,
use to strengthen their ability.
yes.
Okay, so these two kind of work together, you just kind of,
Yes, the stair step,
yeah,
yes.
stair step. Okay, so on the next paper, do we want to take and reflect and plan for all four, or just for a couple of areas?
Do you think it's more realistic to be able to hit a couple areas? Or plan for all four
Plan
and then
for,
see
yeah.
kind of how it goes, I
So
guess?
what supports could you give to those far below? And then we probably should sort them.
Yes.
Would that be easier to sort them first?
Yeah, maybe let's do that.
Okay.
This would work we'd see more of a range of students in the 8th period section, but, I mean, we'll make it work here.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we're just at the students, you can go by first name or, no, you can't even do initial, can you? Just by last name? No, you can't do that either.
we'll just.
The whole name.
Yeah, well, for some of them, we might have to do that.
Backlund?
Yep. So I think only those 3 need to write out their full name. Amy, Weston, Macy. You're a really good typer under pressure. I don't even need to help you.
Well, you might have to go back and correct spelling. This doesn't show you when you've done something wrong. Emerson. That's Sam. Okay, I'm not sure why that's like that, they're not in order. Robin, Emily.
And then Chandler, Peyton, Greeley, Aiden.
Okay. So where are you putting Taylor? Ackland.
If you don't, probably should have done this before. Oh, she's clearly not in the right section. Sorry, hold on. I was making it easier sorting them, but, okay. She's one who could explain and analyze, but so she would be in the approaching.
Okay,
No, sorry, meeting. I was the wrong direction.
okay.
Taylor. Same.
Okay,
Meeting.
Tristan.
She got 100%, so she would be exceeding.
Lily.
Lily. She made one small mistake. I would say meeting
Okay,
for her.
Trinity.
Trinity, also meeting. Amy would be exceeding. Weston would be in meeting. Macy would also be in meeting. Same with Julia. Rainey would be exceeding. I would put Robin under, what's this called? What's that called? I would say approaching for her. Emily meeting. It's hard because so she was missing the analysis for one quote section, so. I think I put her a meeting.
Okay,
Sam was absent, so I don't have her designated.
okay. So I'm gonna, for now, take her out. And then we can put her back when she gets in.
Chandler would be in meeting. Peyton would also be in meeting. Greeley's also in meeting. I would say he's also meeting the standard within Kara. I put her in approaching. So I don't think we have anybody who's far below.
Okay. Do you?
Is that bad? for this, okay.
that might just tell you that ticket is fabulous.
For this section, yes.
Do you on the other sections have people farther below? So we could take this one of two ways, just looking at that, working on what supports you want to give the two who are here. Or maybe supports for the ones who are far exceeding, like to get them even farther.
Yeah,
Or take a different section, and it won't be today, and it's time to go home. It's 5 to 4 right now.
5 to 4. Oh. All right. Yeah, yesterday it was, my clock was fine, the day before it wasn't, looks like it's not fine again. Should we just focus on this section, or,
8th hour?
sorry, third period, since
Okay.
that's what you're observing?
Doesn't matter. Because we'll assume that it would be similar in a different section. Whichever's more helpful to you.
Let me look at these low scored quick, because some of them, like, you just didn't complete the rest of that. I guess he's nearing what percent, I just don't know if it's effort. I don't know. Because even like the sped kids, Allison didn't do terrible, but I think.
And how much was Allison and how much
Right.
was?
Start. Yes, okay, so yeah, let's just, for now, let's just focus on
Okay.
these guys.
So maybe next time we could take a different section,
Yes,
if that works.
yes, that works for now.
Okay. So, do you want to concentrate on approaching, or do you want to concentrate on exceeding for next steps?
Or since there's more in meeting, do we,
Meeting, how to move them forward? They look like, you have
they're very, very close.
88% of the class is meeting or exceeding.
So then maybe work towards helping
Those two.
approaching.
Yeah,
Okay.
just what they would need to bump them up.
Mhm.
And that makes it easy because you're only thinking about 2 people, and then you have Sam wherever that lays out. So what could you do to help Kara and this could be individual, Robin, they might need different things.
Right, so with both of them, it was struggling with formatting their quotes and citations and the analysis. What I struggle with the formatting is like, I have it up there, I showed them an example up there, like it's right.
So what specifically
It's right
are they
in front
not
of them.
getting right? Like silly mistakes like forgetting a period. or-
Forgetting the author's last name was, it looks like it's Kara's, and then the misplacement of the period. Which, I tell them, I know it seems really nitpicky, but I'm just trying to show them how MLA is formatted,
Yeah,
why.
well, and it's their first time maybe with someone.
Right, who's being more specific,
Yeah.
yeah.
So maybe, what could you do next steps for these two to get them to work? Or to improve their formatting and analysis?
I mean, could it be something as simple as like, let me pull up my TECA document, because I was thinking of like redirecting them specifically to 2 and 3.
Okay. I wonder if you just brought the 2 of them to you, or had them sit together and then work through one together, and then then have them work on one, no, all three of you, and then the two of them, and then separate, and see
Okay.
if that would work. The
Okay.
rest of them seem like they're getting it.
And, I mean, those who are meeting the standard,
Mm-hmm.
that's mostly all because they also struggled with this. So this could be a whole class thing,
Okay,
honestly, that we do. Because, yeah, it wasn't just those two that struggled
Okay.
with it, that was just part of their,
okay, so working on 2 and 3 of TACA. So maybe just a whole group by your table, do it alone, let's check it right now.
yeah. Yep.
And it really wouldn't hurt the two who are exceeding
No, to get a reminder.
to get it, or maybe they explain it.
Yeah, that's true.
They lead the class in doing it.
But otherwise, these two both need help with the analysis side. And I think the way I formatted the next writing assignment should help them, because before, I'll show you. I added in 2 separate for the explanation. In this quote, the explanation, and then this supports my claim. Where last time I just had one, like I just had, I don't remember how I worded it, if I said it in this, so like,
So you separated the,
what is it called? What am I trying to say? Kind of chunked it, but then I've also, I guess, provided sentence starters, I
Okay.
guess. But it, I mean, everyone will have access to that, so maybe it's not like I'm singling those two out,
right.
you know, they should
Well,
hopefully
you could
help
just tell them
everyone.
because some people
Struggled with.
struggled, and they might have struggled and got it correct, but struggled, then you separated it out.
Yeah.
Would it be easier next year to do this way first?
Yep. Yes, for sure.
And then keep taking away their
Yes.
sports? Okay. Anything else you'd like to add for next steps? We need to plan when we're gonna meet again, or when you'd like me to observe again.
I'll get my book, sorry, for sure. But nope, I think that's good for next steps. I'm gonna see how it played out last year. Oh yeah, snow days go lower.
Second quarter.
So are you gonna wanna see them working on the writing assignment again?
We did the planning conversation guide, we've done the POCA, we've done the analyzing. So we've sort of finished one cycle.
Okay,
So we could start with planning again, or we could start wherever and do another cycle.
okay,
Still with the 9th graders, we don't
Right.
have to change. And you have like 390 in out of 900, so you're like a third of the way, over a third.
okay. Cause, I mean, honestly, we could probably just, I don't know if it sounds right, but we could probably just pick a day that works.
Okay.
Cause I'm not, depending on how tomorrow goes, like, we have school, you know.
Yeah,
And then,
or we could wait till next week and let me know. Just don't let me,
even on Friday, but I just make a note to myself to, cause on Fridays, I always plan out the next week,
okay,
so,
look and see when would be good to do another cycle. And it could be with 8th hour. It could be with the freshmen, it could be with the juniors if you wanted to. You
okay.
don't have to keep working with the freshmen.
So, I was saying next week plans. students, or it might be interesting to do 8th period. Just because, like Mr. Litters, he's currently evaluating me.
Okay.
And he's looking at that class, and we talked about like how there is such a mix with IEP students and a 504. I have some students who I would say like they're excelling, and some who are struggling, they are off task. So there's a huge mix of groups, so that could be interesting.
Okay, well, we could even take and start with analyzing what they did on this.
Yeah.
And then what sports are you going to give the different groups?
Yeah.
Especially if you've talked about that and something that would work out. And you already have everything graded, so I mean, you're ready for if we did an analyzing student.
Yeah.
And then talk about sports before you plan a day. Or you have, it written out what you want, but maybe there are a couple of people that need more, like the sped kids need more stuff filled out, so they're just working on 2 things instead of all 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Okay. So let me know what works. The week of the 24th with conferences and stuff is not a good week for me. So if we could do something next week.
Yeah, for sure. I don't really think I have much planned. This week is crazy with being evaluated and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we got it worked out.
Yeah.
So yeah, next week should be.
Okay, you want to look at your calendar and decide what 7:30 works for you, or maybe you know already.
I think, yep. Sorry, it's something in my back. Okay, I think the only thing I have next week in the morning is a student senate meeting on Tuesday morning, and then of course staff meeting on Friday. So
Okay.
I could do Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Do you want to do Monday, Wednesday, or Monday, Thursday? Because once we analyze, you might want, it depends how soon you want the supports.
Okay, so yeah, let's plan for Monday, Wednesday,
Okay,
and do like 7:30.
7:30 works for me.
Okay.
It gets me out of the house faster, so
Mhm.
it's fine. And she's okay with that, because she doesn't like the bus. So we're gonna analyze on Monday, and then Wednesday plan some supports. And if you do any tweaking ahead of time, then this time you spend on working on that, put lot down.
Okay.
And when I told you like the 390, that did not include what you have separate from me.
Okay.
So really you have more than 390 you have in the 400s. What did you have for?
I haven't added them up yet.
Okay, but how many minutes did you have for the grading to
Oh,
be able
45.
to- 45?
Okay. Didn't copy in. Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, that moves you into the 435, which is really
And
like
sorry, we need how much?
900.
900.
You're about halfway.
Yep. Yep,
Perfect.
I
Thank
still
you.
laugh thinking how we were gonna try first semester, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be gone for like 2 months of it, so yeah, that probably won't work.
We'll meet every single day.
And
That
then now
would-
I'm squeezing in 2 evaluations.
Third quarter?
But just this semester, I'm not
Okay.
sure how we'll do it, because I was supposed to, I'm on the evaluation cycle, and
Yeah, so none.
so, but it all,
You're far enough in that it's kind of like, all right, come in whenever.
right, yes, exactly, I mean,
not
Right.
gonna change what I'm teaching because you're here.
Yes, and I always try to have the mindset of like, pretend you're being evaluated right now, you know, like, not like I would mess around or anything, but I just always try to have that mindset anyway, so. I think it throws off the kids more than me, especially like when a camera comes in.
Yeah.
Like when he evaluates, you know, Beth brings that
Yeah.
big tripod and they're all kind of like, what's happening?
That's a little bit more stressful than me.